And welcome back to another edition of Edmonton Oilers discussion here on Dolany TV, guys. Today I saw the Edmonton Journal do it. Watched their video. Watched how nice and basically explained it was. But they were talking today about the things to watch for, reasons to keep watching the Oilers down the stretch. They said it officially, Oilers are toast, put a fork in it. Well, okay, fair enough, so we don't need to cover the playoff talk. Okay, you know what, I've covered that enough, we've had fun with that. But they covered three real basic, easy reasons. Connor McDavid, the point scoring race, how many can he get? Leon Draisaitl, 100 points. Will he make a team all-star after the year's over? And then, of course, the draft lottery, where we're probably not going to get first. I think right now it's a 3.5% chance. It's 3.8 for, second, and 4.1 for third, I believe, if I got my numbers right on the website at work earlier. But those were the Edmonton Journal's reasons. I'm going to give you my reasons because there's quite a few. Obviously, yes, you've got to go number one is the Leon Draisaitl, Connor McDavid tandem getting 100-plus points, right? Because right now, you sit at it. Let me go over there and get the Edmonton Oilers stats right now, because the Oilers stats are an interesting conundrum in themselves, right? You go sit there, you've got 200-plus point scorers, and you don't get into the playoffs. What the heck's going on there, right? So Connor McDavid, 112 points in 72 games played. So Connor McDavid can play a maximum of 78 games this year. You give him 6 more games, I think he easily gets 120 points this year. Then you've got Leon Draisaitl, 99 points with 6 games to go. Easily is going to get 100 points this year. And then you sit here, okay, well, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, guys, this is the guy who literally needs 6 more points to hit 70 points. So right there, it's just the points race for every Oiler at this point. Darnell Nurse, if you're not watching for him to hit 40 points this year, I don't know what you're doing. The guy is at times mostly clueless defensively, but you can't deny the offensive scoring touch he has put on this year with his passing and his finishing with that slap shot, wrist shot, whatever he uses game to game. Now, Alex Chiasson, a guy who, hey man, you know what? He's still got a shot at 25 goals. He gets 4 goals in the next 6. He's got a shot at 25 goals. That would be unreal. So there's, you see what I'm saying with this? Zack, another 5 points in 6 games would get him up to 30 on the year. A good season out of him. And then you've also got to look at the goaltending situation. Another reason to watch is, are we going to see another Anthony Stolarz game? Are we going to see Mikko Koskinen hit, well, he's going to hit 25 wins. We know that. We're going to win one of the next 6. He got to, absolutely. Especially that one in Calgary on April 6th. Right, so the milestones for this team are there. The milestones are there. And I mean, you've got guys like Joseph Gambardella who are in the lineup on the second line, third line, fourth line, going all around the lineup. He was even on the top line earlier. And he's without a goal. So his first career NHL goal, right? The feel-good moments. And that's what I've been just cheering for. We need feel-good moments. A tank brings no feel-good moments. So that's exactly why I've been cheering so hard against the tank. And right now, things are looking good. So right there, number one for this team is to sit here and look. This team can still put up points. Who's going to put up points? The reason to watch is who's going to do their job this year, finish strong, put it in the mind of whoever the new GM is stepping in that, man, they finished the year damn strong. I want him on my team next season. That's essentially your role right now if you're an Oilers player. But even bigger than that, it's to give the fans something to watch. And I think we're going to get an absolute show to watch the rest of the way home here. I think that Calgary game is going to be the absolute epitome of the season. You've got probably high scoring, rough and tumble, stupid goal, right? You've probably got everything rolled into one against Calgary on April 6th. So that's another big one. That's point number 2. The reason to watch is because the bad blood is still going to be there. Obviously, we saw things boil over against the Los Angeles Kings last night. Zack Kassian and Chris Russell had fights? Guys, that's fantastic. They were crappy fights, but still fights and gloves coming off. Chris Russell was gooning a guy like he literally grabbed him with his bare hand and started punching him. His gloves were off before the guy's both gloves were off. Guys, that's the kind of fight, scrap, claw, effort we want to see as fans, and that's exactly what we can look forward to. That's a reason to watch. for the next 6 games, 100% of the way. You cannot earmark that this team's going to go down without a fight. We've tried to say that 50 times over this year. It's not going to happen. This team is going fighting to the last second in Calgary on April 6th. I'll get to why you're talking about April 6th there, Tyson, in a little bit. Anyway, that is as simple as it is when it comes to the statistics, when it comes to the on-ice product. But now you look at the schedule of opponents, right? If you're watching the Oilers face Dallas, Anaheim, and then if I had my tabs to go over to April, apparently I don't have the March tab. Okay, whatever. Apparently I can't go game by game, calendar, what the heck's going on here? 2019 season, and let's go get down here to the last little bit. Sorry, the calendar is acting really weird. So you've got Dallas, Anaheim, Golden Knights, Colorado Avalanche, San Jose Sharks, and Calgary Flames. Right there, guys, minus the Ducks and probably minus the Avalanche, you've got 4 playoff teams the next 6 games. That's huge, right? You want to see who's going to be in the Stanley Cup playoffs, who has lineups, that kind of thing. If you're an Oilers fan, it's a great expertise moment to sit here and educate yourself on these teams while also watching your Oilers play. Get educated for the playoffs, even if the Oilers don't make it. That's what I'm saying right there. And it's a great stretch of games to do it. Dallas, Vegas, San Jose, and of course Calgary. 4 teams. That's huge. That's half your playoff picture in the West right there. So that's another key reason to watch. And realistically, now, yes, okay, if you're going to be the Edmonton Journal, if you're going to be the naysayers and say we're not running the table, winning 6, getting some help making the playoffs, well then stick the fork in it and look forward to April 9th when the draft lottery takes place and the Oilers have that 3.1, 3.5, 3.8, whatever chance at the first, second, and third draft pick it is. Fine, dandy, whatever. But no, that's not the reason to look forward to April 9th. It's not to look forward to, do we hit the absolute lottery with one of those picks? No, not what I'm saying. It's to know where we draft and then start the madness that is the pre-draft scheme, right? Then all of a sudden you sit here and you start discussing with your friends, man, this kid had a great season. Man, I caught this kid in the dub. Man, this kid's great, right? Just the discussion starts anew. And whether we be drafting 1st or 14th, I don't care. Somewhere in there is going to be a good player. The Oilers have a guy in Keith Gretzky who can go out and get them someone good. I don't think Keith Gretzky just gets discarded at the weigh scale on the way to the new GM. Okay, I don't think that's going to happen. So right there, you can sit there and you can say, now, we get to see from the Peter Chiarelli era to the new general manager's era, bridged by a guy on both sides of the argument in Keith Gretzky. There you go. Another interesting way. How will this season finish, right? If we finish on a winning note, it takes into account what happens to Ken Hitchcock. That's another reason to keep watching. Reason to see if Ken Hitchcock keeps figuring out things about this lineup game by game. He's done it all season, and that's why we are where we are at this point. But could you imagine if he would have just Todd McClellaned it and blendered everything from the start every single game? Yes, he blenders the lines, but you know Draisaitl and McDavid are going to be together with somebody that plays a style that they need, right? It's not Lucic up there 90% of the time anymore like it was under Todd McClellan. It's dynamic coaching by Ken Hitchcock, and that's my interest. Is he going to go into a advisory role? What's going to happen to Ken Hitchcock? And that's going to be told very much so by the next 6 games, I believe. So right there, another headline reason to stay watching the Oilers at this point, stay in tune with the season, and see what's going on. Now, you've also got the last and but not least point that I have to touch on, my friends from Baco. Baco, how's it going today? Baco, however you say it, I always butcher it. You guys let me know in the comments section. Well, guess what? Bakersfield, we're going to have some call-ups. Let's be realistic. If we aren't in the playoff picture by game 80, we're going to have some call-ups. Whether it be Benson, Maruti, Yamamoto, we're going to see some of the young kids. That's the way the NHL season finishes, just like in baseball, just like in the NBA, just like in the NFL, I guess, would be another good example. You're going to see it, and to see which of those kids come up and do the job, it's going to be interesting. Now, the thing is, I don't think we're going to see the kids we think we're going to see, right? Because they're in the thick of a playoff chase. So if anything, we're going to be sending guys down and dressing down this lineup. But still interesting to see who's going to be dressed the rest of the way home, depending on the dynamic situation, game to game. Guys, that's where I'm going to leave you. I think I left you a little bit more to chew on than the Edmonton Journal. That is, of course, what I try to strive myself on. I'm not trying to compete. I'm just trying to give you a different perspective. And that's why I'm watching. These are the reasons I'm watching, right? There is too much going on to dismiss the Oilers season at this point. And, right, we've got a stretch right until April 9th when that draft lottery happens. We've got our stretch of hockey for the next 2 weeks. 2 weeks till April 9th, essentially. Guys, I'm Tyson. This is Dolany TV. Thank you so much for tuning in. I will catch you, as always, in the next one.